Chicago, enough is enough! There are bullies in power trying to silence our voices, but they forget who we are. We are the people. And today at noon at Daily Plaza, we are rising. If you believe in human rights, if you're done being lied to, stepped on and pushed aside, come stand with us. Show them we are not afraid. Show them Chicago shows up for justice. This isn't left versus right. This is right versus wrong. This is humanity versus hate. Bring your voice. Bring your rage. Bring your love. Daily Plaza, noon today. We march together. We rise together. We will not be silent.
All right, guys, we are here in Seminole County, Florida, here in Lake Mary on International Parkway, and we are here for the hands-off protest today. It started about an hour ago, and we have a couple hundred people here, which is amazing. Very peaceful, everyone's bringing signs, and we are outnumbered by the boomers. The boomers are outnumbering the millennials, the Gen Zs. They are here, and they want their 401k. It's amazing. So if you're going to a hands-off protest today, make sure to film, show us your content, show us your signs, and I'll show you my sign. It's kind of like melting because it's Florida and the sun's like 100 degrees, but let me show you mine. Put it on the ground. Hot girls defend democracy.
Been up a few hours. How about you? So there's another big protest today happening all over the country. I'm out in Boerne, Texas today for that protest. So if you're planning to go to San Antonio or hell even Austin and want to do something different and have a little bit more impact, come out to a small town protest. Big cities are used to it. Yeah, there'll be a big crowd there, but come out here where you're needed the most. We need you in Boerne and Buda and Seguin, all the smaller towns, to show a presence, because here's what will make a difference. Here's what will raise some eyebrows. So if you're planning to pack up and head into downtown San Antonio today, do me a favor. Drive out to Boerne, Texas instead. We're meeting at the same time. It's at 11. Less traffic. Have a nice lunch. Pretty cool little main street. It'll be awesome, and you can come out and make a real difference by changing the landscape and showing folks that we can push out into rural America. We're going to have a pretty good crowd out here just with us in Boerne, but we're looking for everybody to come out here. So if you're planning a protest, do it in a small town.
So, it's amazing. Very peaceful, and we have a lot of supporters out. So, I will be giving a rundown on episode 3 of Bluelusional, which is going to be on Monday. You can find it on Spotify and on Podbean. I will give a full rundown of the protest and all the amazing signs that I saw. Stay safe.
I know you both can sing this. I know you can sing this, and you. Theater ladies, theater divas.
Yeah. More to come. Today is the day of the 50-51 protest. 50 states, 50 cities, one movement. If there's one near you, go check it out. Come prepared with your FDT hat. I have mine. I wore mine out in public the other day and went into a Jersey Mike's, and I got a look from a guy. I thought he was going to say something, but he gave it a second thought and didn't. And, you know, he kind of had that look of, well, you know what he was. And he just went on with my business. He didn't say anything, but I could tell what he was thinking. But you know what? They wear their MAGA hats loud and proud. I'm going to wear my hat loud and proud. But just a word of caution, be careful out there. And let's just remember, we're all Americans. We're all exercising our free speech and have the right to do so. So be respectful, everyone. Enjoy your Easter weekend. Enjoy your right to free speech and your right to freedom of religion. Keep checking back for the 411.
Good morning. Happy Saturday. It's week 13 of hopefully only 208 weeks. How's everyone doing today? Today is April 19th, and there are quite a few protests going on, not just in the United States, but also in the UK. So let's touch on that a little bit. In the United States, we're seeing our day of action. It's another 50-51 movement protest kind of day, and we're protesting all the injustices and the constitutional crisis and the everything that the Trump administration is plunging the United States into. You may see news reports that this is a rage day or a violent movement. Please know that it is not. That is going to be spinning that the Trump administration wants this movement to be framed as. This movement is peaceful at its core, but at the end of the day, we are still fighting for protecting the Constitution and what is right. Now, over in the UK, there is an emergency protest because their Supreme Court has effectively made trans women illegal. Or, excuse me if I'm misrepresenting that a little bit, but ultimately trans women don't have the right to legally exist over there. And so the trans community and their allies are coming out to say, hey, we're not going to stand for that because trans people are valid and they just want to exist as their most authentic self. No matter where you are, if you're protesting, please be safe out there. Don't engage with the counter protesters if you can. And remember, your personal safety is important. If something bad happens to you, then you're not going to be here to raise your voice with us in the future. So please be safe. Please have a good day out there. And no matter what, take some time to do something nice for yourself and try to have a good day.
Me and my 13-year-old son are fixing to head to the protest. It's the first time he's ever been to one. It's the first time I've ever been to one, and I'm really excited. And I just wanted to share these signs with you, but we'll probably go live while we're there, but here we go. Now, I'm not an artist, but no crowns for clowns, no throne of hate, will vote, fight, march, and agitate. That would make a really good chant, I'm just saying. This one is what my youngest son, he's 11, come up with. What did the penguins do? I love that one. Now this one's kind of, not my favorite, but still the message is good. So let's go. Deport schmozzies, Landsmen, YT nationalists, and Trump's horrors are keep the migrants. They have love in they only have love in their hearts. Yeah, sorry. Now this one, I didn't come up with the ski part of it or the kegs part of it, but listen, it was in April NIC's live, April Nick, and I don't remember who exactly came up with it. It might have been Fang, but anyway, it says, Whiskey Leaks, brought to you by DUI Hires, Pete Keg's Breath, Sergeant Special K, RFK's Brainworm, Schmotzy Dracula, Hillbilly Felony, and Darth Trader. I like that one. And this is my favorite one, okay? This is the one I really, really wanted to make look really good. Melt ice. The planet's burning, so are our rights. I'm just saying, man, summer heat and ice, you know, they don't go together very well, and summer's coming. Let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, I'll probably go live once we get to the actual protest and it starts. So hopefully I'll see.
In the never-ending effort to act tough, Donald Trump and the Trump administration send a demand letter to Harvard University. Oh, they're tough. You better do this, or you better do that, or we're going to hold back $2.5 billion of federal funding. Now, what you going to do about that? You're surely going to bend, you're going to scrape, you're going to give in to what Donald Trump wants. But that's not what happened. And as I've told you before, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, you've got Harvard University. Harvard has alumni that are some of the most powerful and wealthy people in this country. Do you think they're going to cotton to Donald Trump, who couldn't get into Harvard, to tear apart their alma mater? That's not going to fucking happen. And they pushed back, and they started fundraising, and people started donating money. It wasn't going well, and it looked bad on the Trump administration. So what's the Trump administration do? They come out and say, oh, we sent that out by accident. Well, motherfucker, you wrote the letter. You mean to tell me you wrote the letter, but you had no intention of sending it? Bullshit, motherfucker. And then they tried to place the blame on Harvard. They said, listen, when they got that letter, what they should have done is just called the administration instead of taking it public. Really, bitch? That's what you want? No, Harvard did exactly what you should do with a bully: push back and punch him harder. That's what happened to the Trump administration, and like every other bully, they're cowards now. They're running away and say, oh, I didn't mean to send that. I was just joking. Well, here's the thing, Donald. I like administrations that don't fuck up, and you consistently fuck up, firing people, then having to hire them back, sending out letters to Harvard. Jesus, Donnie, stop fucking up.
We have some big news right now. A massive anti-Trump protest has just broken out in New York, in Midtown New York. Tens of thousands of people are currently gathering within Midtown New York, marching, protesting Donald Trump, protesting Elon Musk. This is the second iteration of the hands-off protest that we saw on April 5th, and now there's another round. It's a little smaller, but there's another round today. This is what it looks like right now. As you can see, there is a sea of people, literally tens of thousands of people gathering to protest Donald Trump and this administration. It's all over Midtown New York. There are protests right now happening across the world. We have reports of protests in Italy. We have reports of protests across America. And these protests are only likely to grow and likely to continue throughout the day. But also this group continues to plan protests literally every couple weeks so that Americans can come out and voice their opinions. Are you protesting today? Let me know in the comments below. I'll do a full breakdown of everything we see on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Great article today. Saturday, April 19th, on the website Daily Kos, dailykos.com. Another week, another batch of MAGA faithful finding out the hard way. Leopards eating faces. They're eating a lot of faces. This week's episode focuses on truckers and soybean farmers. Truckers love Donald Trump. About 75% of truckers in the United States identify as Republicans and voted for Donald Trump. It's easy to imagine why. The group is mostly rural, white, and male, and tied to a job that lives and dies on the cost of fossil fuels, diesel, which can account for up to 40% of their costs. And they hate environmental mandates to electrify their fleets, electric trucks. In 2014, truck driver was the most common job title in most American states and a significant one in pretty much all of them. Truck driving is one of the largest professions that provides a path to financial security without a college degree. So, Craig Fuller, a trucking guy on Twitter, many truckers I've spoken with don't realize how quickly container volumes have collapsed, meaning containers coming from China because of Trump's tariffs. Starting in May, port freight out of the state of California will almost be eliminated. It's going to be a bloodbath, and then a complete collapse of I-20 and I-40 trucking. Those are freeways going across the states. I don't know what this term blank sailings means, but in May 2020, there were 51 shipments of blank sailings, over 80 of them so far in April. So blank sailings are bad, and they're up about 70% over May of 2020. COVID will look like good times. Let's see. This is crazy. Mack Truck is laying off 20% of its workforce, manufacturing trucks. Hang on. An industry expert said the 100,000 full-time, hard-working truckers hauling 85% of the surface trade in goods with Mexico and 67% of the goods traded with Canada will bear a direct and disproportionate impact from Trump's tariffs. It's gonna absolutely crater trucking. Now let's check on the soybean industry. During his first administration, he put tariffs on China. China bought all their stuff from Brazil. The economic damage was so severe that Trump had to bail out farmers to the tune of $28 billion. That's the definition of socialism for Republican farmers. A similar number of farmers voted for Donald Trump, 75 or 80%. So after his first term, what did those farmers do? What did they do? They voted for Trump again, of course. Trump has now killed what was left of the Chinese market, dramatically increased the cost of fertilizer, thanks to his trade war with China, and turned the world against American goods. As these soy farmers are relegated to pegging columns like this one, I'm a soybean farmer who voted for Trump. I'm begging the president to end the trade war. Like many of my fellow farmers, I voted for President Donald Trump in the past 3 elections. The president won me over with his commitment to business-friendly tax cuts, as well as his track record of reducing regulation and cutting government spending. I am one of the 500,000 soybean farmers in America who feels the pain. I rely on my farm for 100% of the income from my family, except for all those government subsidies, the socialism, and the families of our 3 full-time workers. We have 1,500 acres of soybean on my farm. It's $600 per acre. Our production costs are $900,000. But in the current climate, an acre only brings in $500 of revenue, which means we are yielding $750,000, a $150,000 loss because you voted for Donald Trump, because of Trump's tariffs on China, because China has just been like, we're gonna get our stuff from Brazil again. They're getting their soybeans from Brazil. They're getting their beef from Australia. So it's not just soybean farmers. Guess who didn't have to give farmers $28 billion in bailouts? Joe Biden. You voted for this 3 times, truckers and soybean farmers. You voted for this 3 times. Have the day you deserve to know about.
If you're just waking up this Saturday morning like me, you probably didn't hear the crazy breaking news that happened around 1 a.m. last night when the Supreme Court blocked all deportations under the Alien Enemies Act. They are blocking Trump's deportations. They did this in the middle of the night. This is unheard of for the Supreme Court. Now, they voted to block the deportations until they could further hear if the immigrants could get rights of habeas corpus. Now, that means, due process. So they are acknowledging that Trump's deportations of these immigrants under the Alien Enemies Act is potentially a violation of the Constitution, potentially illegal. And they are recognizing the seriousness of this, because they just mistakenly deported a man who shouldn't have been deported. And who knows if there's more of those people in this group they were about to deport. So the Supreme Court is acting on this with urgency, which is the good news. Justices Alito and Thomas objected to this. Big surprise, right? And they're going to issue their own statements about this, comments about this later. So we'll see what happens here. But I think the Supreme Court has realized the nightmare they're dealing with in Trump and are trying to mitigate damage now. So we'll see what happens going forward. So let me know what you think about this. Like, share, comment, spread the word, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
We have some big news right now. MAGA Republicans are in uproar this morning, calling what the Supreme Court did by blocking the Alien Enemies Act deportations overnight a, quote, supreme coup. Republicans across the internet are extremely upset that Justice Roberts, Justice Kavanaugh, Justice Gorsuch, and Justice Barrett all joined the liberal justices in blocking the Trump administration's ability to conduct any further deportations under the Alien Enemies Act for Venezuelan men living in northern Texas. It was a significant ruling. It was handed down at 1 a.m. And now as Republicans are waking up across the country, they're extremely upset. They thought that the original ruling, which the Supreme Court essentially greenlit deportations under the Alien Enemies Act, was the last of it, was their win. But a caveat was present in that opinion, which is that the detainees deserve due process, some semblance of due process, whether under habeas or another avenue. And while the Trump administration wasn't doing that, and well, now deportations are blocked once again. I'll have a full breakdown on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need.
We have breaking news. There are going to be mass protests about Donald Trump this weekend. So 50-51 is the movement, and it's 50 protests, 50 states, one movement. It is this weekend, Saturday, April 19th, at every major city. Go to your capital around noon. That is where the protests will be. It's very simple. So listen, I need you guys to help me blow this up, right? Give me a comment, give me a heart, favorite this video. If you hate Donald Trump, we got to get as many people out to protest as possible. If you think that he kidnapped Abrigo Garcia and sent him to a torture chamber, torture prison in El Salvador, upvote this video. We've got to get as many people out to protest this administration as possible. Remember, we can still impeach this guy. Impeachment is purely a political process. All we have to do is win the midterms. If we win these midterms, they're coming up. They're about, almost a year and a half away. If we win, we can impeach him. We can remove him from the office. And don't delude yourself that won't cause a major impact on our society, because the rest of the Republicans are useless. They won't get anything done. So we've got to destroy this cult. So the best way to do that is to protest this weekend. So blow this video up, get out tomorrow, and let's impeach Donald Trump.
Here again, y'all, it's Pastor Chris. It is Saturday, April the 19th, Holy Saturday, the day before Easter and the day that we remember when our Lord Jesus was executed by the state. We are here down at the Columbus State House, and I want to show you just how many folks are down here. We were here 2 weeks ago. There was an estimated 3,000 people. I don't know how many are going to be here today. If you can get out to a protest, they are happening all over the country today in towns and capitals and cities all over the nation. The people are speaking. We will not stand by while the Constitution is violated. We stand for due process for everybody, and this pastor stands for love and grace and mercy and humility, and most especially truth. On the day before the day we celebrate that love wins over the powers of darkness and death and destruction.
I've been on Reddit the last couple days, just trying to check out, see what I'm seeing on the conservative side about the Supreme Court and about El Salvador and things like that, to kind of get a feel for what's going on. And I don't necessarily look at like how many people are arguing in there, because I don't always know who's who. But the thing that I was seeing in a few different places, because I will just go all over the place, was a comment that I don't remember seeing before. But it was things like, hey guys, remember, we may not like what he's doing, or even if you don't like the things he's doing, or you're scared about the things he's doing, just remember what, it would have been worse. The alternative would have been worse. And they're not talking specifically about Kamala. They're talking about the left and their policies, because they think their policies are communism. They think they're satanic. They think they're schmedophiles and schmex traffickers and all these insane things, or that they want to tax them to oblivion or take away their health care. And those are the things that we forget about, because on the left, we want to put it in a little tight box, like it's this one reason. And it isn't. It's a million reasons. And for everybody, it could be a little bit different. But it isn't just one reason. It's a multitude of reasons. And because we don't watch their propaganda, we forget that they are being inundated constantly with threats of their survival. Like, I used to see my mom's phone when she was still in there. And even though I got Fox News turned off, essentially, her phone was pinging all day. And I'd pick it up and it was, Donald Trump needs your help. Communists are trying to do X, Y, Z, and he knows them personally, but he's going to stop this. But he needs your help. So he give them fear and then the solution. The next one. Adam Schiff is doing this. We need your help. Donald Trump will handle this for you. Fear, solution. Nervous system, calm. Call to action. It's a repeated pattern that is super, super effective, especially on older people who vote. So I said, Mom, you have propaganda come through your phone 24/7. She'd get like 15 of them a day. And anyway, so there's that, and inside of that, it's just almost like wives' tales and rumors and myths. It's like, it isn't QAnon, but it's not far off. And we don't hear that stuff. They do all day long. If it comes through their phones, if they're on any other kind of website, Fox News does some of that, Newsmax does some of that. But the really scary stuff, it just comes through their phones, or they see it on websites. And we forget about that. And we just make these assumptions. Well, they're not doing it because of this. Well, no, they think it's because women are going to start having abortions like it's a day at the spa. Like, it's not logical, but logic isn't required when you are in a cult. It's taken away from you. And part of the reason, the constant, when Trump is constantly posting on Truth Social, or when it was on Twitter, or when you're getting these constant things through your phone, it's a thought disruptor. So even if they start to think of things going, oh, what he's doing is making me scary, ping, hey, we need your help, this is happening. Oh yeah, and it kicks up their nervous system again, and it jars them away from the critical thinking that can start to come forward. So that is what they are masters of, is this, I mean, even like how Aaron or whoever starts coming in every day, like that's how their phone is breaking. So even if their brain could take a break and sit and process that, they have that. And then the other thing they have is us arguing with them. So even if they start to process it and they go on and you see one of us going, hey, dumb shit, you guys are so stupid, you can't figure this out. Ding, they're back in it again. So that's what happens. If their critical brain starts to come up, which it will for a lot of them because they're seeing signs of things that make them very nervous, the breaking news from their phones or wherever and us attacking them will shoot them right back in there. Guaranteed. It's just how it is. So, and while people may focus on the fact that they said, oh, the other side would be worse or the alternative was worse, that's not what I focused on. I was thrilled with the fact that they were saying, hey, everybody, okay, but you may not agree with what's going on, or you may not like what he's doing. So, but we have to just hold strong. Like, just remember, keep the faith kind of thing. Like, almost like we have to double down. Like they were trying to convince themselves to stick it out. That's the point. That never happened before. Never. That started January 20th. And so if a lot of your, relatives are going silent, that's because they're going through this. They're going through, he's scaring the crap out of me, or he's scaring people around me, or he's affecting people around me, or he's affecting me. But I've also been in this for 8 years. I feel like I have to stick this out because I've only been in there for 4 months, but also I don't agree with a lot of this. And so when their brain wants to start to think about that, the phone will ding, or one of us will go, you're so stupid, you FAFO, and then their defense mechanism comes in and they jump right in that circle. If they're tiptoeing around there, we make sure to shove them back in, or propaganda does. And they propagandize each other. They hear made up stories. Oh my gosh, did you hear that Nancy Pelosi was doing this, or Hillary was down in a cave with doing trans surgeries? Like, and that just makes them feel good. So it's easy to believe. Our side does it too. Mr. Global tried to correct something about something with Canada and China and oil, and he tried to correct it 3 times, and everyone kept taking his stuff, breaking it apart, and sharing it anyway because it made him feel good. And he's like, I'm trying to tell you the facts, and you don't want to hear it. You want to hear the misinformation and keep spreading it because it makes you feel good. And I have that happen here. Like, people fight me on just simple facts, and it's like, okay, well, you're doing what they're doing. You're propagandizing each other. But then they look at that and go, see, they're crazy, they're lying, and then it puts them back in there. So it's not about being better people, it's looking at things strategically. If I spread lies and they see that I spread lies, why would they trust me? Why would they think the things that I follow and believe are true? They won't. They're going to look for any sign of evidence that I'm spreading lies, or that I'm over hysterical, or that I'm not just being calm and letting things do their thing, which we tend to do. So we fall into the trap. Donald Trump describes how we're going to act, and then we act that way. And then that makes Donald Trump right. So I just ask people to consider not attacking, just listening, or saying nothing at all, and give their brain time to process things through. Because they're already dealing with propaganda over there. And luckily we have Trump being an absolute psycho, and that works to our advantage. None of this is going to happen as fast as we want, but the fact that it's even starting at all is a big deal. So I just wanted to share that, because I've shared lots of different ways that we're seeing this happen, but to see them in there specifically saying, everybody hang on, I know you're scared, I know you don't like what he's doing, but... And right there, I don't even care what the after part is, because that's all their made up propaganda. but it's the fact that they're voicing their concerns to each other and they're trying to calm each other. So lots of times when you see people doubling down, that is to silence the doubt in themselves and others, because they're getting frustrated that the people around them are getting loud. So if you see someone go put up 20 more signs in front of their house, that's because they don't like to hear everyone else going, what the F is he doing? I'm getting scared. They're like, just have faith. Pam, pam, pam. Put these flags out there. That's what's happening. So, you know, let your nervous system calm down. We don't know how this is going to go, but I do know the signs of cults breaking apart. And so that is happening. And I'd love to post that every single day like I was doing, but I will never get these videos done if I stand here and try and answer every question and everyone's concerns. I just can't do it. And I have executive dysfunction disorder. So I have to work with what my brain will do. So it's okay. Everybody calm down. Panic never helped anybody. And just know there's deep, deep concern over there. I don't care how loud the loudest ones are. The ones that aren't loud are scared. And that's happening.
Hey yo, it's Kiki, and I am here checking out this massive protest in Cincinnati, and I thought I would just walk through the crowd so you could see a little bit about how gigantic this is. The idea that all of these Cincinnatians have come together, all of them, to say, hey, you're gonna listen to our voice. You're going to listen because our voices matter. That's democracy. That is how you handle an oligarchy. This right here, this gigantic protest. Take a second and look at all of these people. You're going to listen to us. We are going to fight Project 2025. We are going to stand up for the U.S. Constitution. Check that out. Look at all of the, I can't even show you how big it is. We're coming. We're coming. You're going to hear and you're going to see us. It's Kiki for Ohio. We're going to get town halls. You're going to